Hello everybody and welcome to Brittany's whimsical garden of 2022, filled with many aspirations and probably not enough wisdom for most of it to come to fruition, but we all got to start somewhere. So I thought it'd be fun just to show a beginning of the season. We're a couple weeks past our last frost date. This is our new raised bed garden. Now this area, it used to be a dog pen, so hence the chain link, but we have a huge issue with deer, so we're hoping that moving our garden to this area, it'll get a little bit more sun, and also the fence will act as a deterrent. I know deer can still jump over it, but hopefully if they can't see what's on the other side, maybe they won't jump over and eat all of our corn like they did last year. So we've got our raised bed garden here. We are still doing some in-ground gardening. That's clear back there here. So we've got sunflowers, corn, beans, and potatoes back there, which we have all of that in our raised bed as well. So we're going to compare and see which part does better. So let's go inside and I'll show you around. So this garden is mostly set up, but it is definitely still a work in progress. So when you first walk in, we've got this arbor here, and I was inspired by Roots and Refuge Farm, and I got me some climbing roses to put on either side. Really excited to see that fill out. I ordered those from heirloomroses.com, and I'm really happy with them. They're actually getting ready to bloom right now. So really excited to see how that looks by the end of the summer. So when you walk in, so this is just an overview of how everything looks. The grass in between, guys, ignore that. We have some landscape fabric ordered with some stakes, and we are going to rock this. We've decided, we thought about doing mulch, but you know, we're gonna be gardening here for a long time, and we figured rock was gonna be a more permanent solution where we don't have to replace it every year, you know. So ignore the weeds, those are gonna get taken care of. We're kind of trying to do some cardboard in the back to control the worst spots, but you know, do what you gotta do. This garden is about 30 by 30 roughly. Each of these beds, these are 2 by 4. The rest of them are 2 by 8s or 4 by 8s. And I ordered all of these off of Amazon. So let's get started here. This is my herb garden. The basil's doing great, but man, the oregano, I actually started that before our last frost date, and it's still looking really teensy-tiny, so I'm not sure what the dealio is with that. But the lettuce is taking a minute over here too. Sweet gum tree. Here's some Gurney's strawberries, and these I just added them. We bought some green onions from the store and I popped them in, and they're actually doing pretty good. But yeah, the rest of it is Gurney strawberries, and they're doing really well. I think these are going to be June bears if I can remember correctly. So yeah, we're expecting to see a lot of strawberries here shortly. Wildflowers. So this is our first year trying to do onions, and this is onion batch number 1. And as you can see, they're not looking great, but you know, it's our first time doing onions. So these are technically the best onions I've ever grown. You gotta be optimistic. So these are Kentucky Wonder pole beans. Our plan is to trellis them along the chain link. So they're doing really well. Our germination rate was great on them. Got some more onions. These look maybe a little bit better. That one's not looking too bad. More beans. And over here, this is onion batch number 2, and they're looking a lot better. So I have high hopes for them. Hopefully we actually get, I just want 1 onion. Like, that's my goal. I've never grown an onion before, so I think 1 is an appropriate goal. Everything else down here, this is the Dollar Tree garden that I started back in, I think, January. So I'll probably do a separate video on it, but I'll show you. We've got bell peppers growing. That's pretty cool. Over here we've got some celery. Never grown celery before. And it's funny, the stuff that you just throw in the garden and just say, you know, whatever happens, happens, tends to be the stuff that grows the best. These celeries look really good. So excited to see what happens with those. These are some new tomatoes and peppers that I started. My germination rate with the peppers was not great this year, and my Indeterminate tomatoes are doing awful. So here's my replacements of those. We're doing Martino's Roma and Amish paste. So we got new little babies of those. Another pretty good pseudo failure, I guess, would be our sugar snap peas. Those are all along here. And let me see if I can show you a good example. Something's been eating them. I suspect it's a rabbit. Yeah, so you can't really tell now because most of them have died back, but like there'd be little nibbles taken out of it like that. I think it's probably a rabbit, but I'm not really sure. We've never actually seen a rabbit out here, and we have 8 billion barn cats, so I can't believe a rabbit would get in here and not get caught, but who knows. But yeah, the sugar snaps peas are not doing great. Our other bed looks a little bit better, but I mean, the blossoms are really pretty. We've got purple blossoms. To help deter, I did add some marigolds all along here, and there's some here too, but yeah, sugar snap peas probably not going to get a whole lot of them this year, which is a bummer, but you know, learning curve. This next bed is just strawberries. A couple of them came up from last year, but most of those I let get too dry, so they did not survive. Those are Dollar Tree strawberries there. They've got little teensy tiny babies. But this side hasn't been planted yet. I ordered in March a bunch of strawberries from Gurney's, and these came, but the stuff that I meant to fill in here, they extended the ship date by 2 months, which is such a bummer. So still waiting on, like, I think it's like 50 or 75 additional strawberries to put over there. But the other ones I got are doing really well. And these that I ordered earlier in the year, they're looking really good too. Actually, that one's probably ready to go. Oh, that one's right too. Now this bed I put in crooked, which you'll be able to see right here between these two. But since I only had like 2 feet of space left for this, that wasn't enough to put another bed. So we just filled this up with some soil, and I just put some marigolds in there. So they'll fill that in, make it look a little bit nicer. And I bought a couple of clematises and I planted those back there. And I think they're actually, oh good, it's coming back. Yeah, so here's my clematis. I bought, this is a white one. So it died immediately as soon as I planted it. I think it gets too hot here, but it is coming back. So if it does okay, despite being kind of hot, being above the ground like that, I'm hoping it'll provide a little bit of a privacy screen right here. I've got another one over here doing the same thing, but I think I killed it. It's not coming back. But yeah, if the clematis don't do well, probably what I'll do is get some more climbing roses, just to provide a little bit of privacy here, because that is our neighbor's house over there, and we're going to be in our garden a lot. So just to provide a little bit of privacy, we've got these hanging baskets that are doing really well, but I don't know if petunias were the best choice for these. I probably needed something that doesn't get so thirsty, because I have to water these literally every day or they look terrible. And I forgot to mention, this is a dahlia from Walmart. I saw that. I was not expecting to buy a dahlia, but I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. So it came home with me. And that's another dahlia. I just bought tubers for that one. It's a really pretty zinnia. That is like a bright pink. Wow. Oh, and there's a little white spider. That's pretty cool. That's beautiful. Yeah, so more marigolds there. These are so pretty. These are French dwarf double marigold from American Seed Company. They're really pretty. They got that like two-tone, almost look like a carnation. Super pretty. Over here we've got even more, well, mushrooms first of all, but more sugar snap peas. And these were actually able to produce some pods, so whatever ate them didn't eat them too much. Here's some more pest damage. Yeah, I don't know what it is, you guys. I can't believe that cats would let a rabbit come in here. You can see the little, there we go, you can see the little nibbles on that. Super annoying, but yeah, they've been struggling. And we had a couple of days where it was almost 90 degrees too, so I think they are struggling a little bit from that. But you know, if I can get a couple of pods, I ain't mad about it. It's our first year growing peas too, so my expectations weren't super high. Whatever's eating the peas also eats peppers apparently, because this is a little baby pepper. That got its leaves eaten. This one got eaten too, so hence the extras that we started. Hopefully they survive, but I probably should have started the marigolds a little bit sooner so they'd be flowering now, but you know, Here we've got some more onions from batch number 2. They're looking okay. Now this is supposed to be my Indeterminate tomato bed. And as you can see, it's kind of on the struggle bus. We've already lost 3 or 4 just died. These are all Roma or Amish paste. This is my first year trying the Amish paste. And this one is the biggest, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like the healthiest plant I've ever grown. So, which is kind of unusual because tomatoes are usually like the one thing that I actually grow pretty well. But yeah, who knows? But I guess it won't be bad though, because that means about half of it, you know, the harvest will be split. So maybe we won't be so overwhelmed. So maybe this will actually turn out to be a bit of a blessing that we're gonna have a couple that are a few weeks later than the rest. And then here we've got some carrots that aren't doing super great. But this isn't our main carrot bed. We were mostly just trying to see how they do here. Not looking too bad. And then this is the rest of our Indeterminate tomatoes. So this year we're doing Dr. Wickey's, Kellogg's Breakfast, world famous Brimmer, which are what these ones are. And then a lot of German pinks, because those are my all-time favorite tomatoes. They just do so well here. And these are actually starting to flower. And the plan is to tie the tomatoes to the fence, which these guys are definitely ready for that here. But yeah, so we're gonna use the chain link as our tomato cages as well. So hopefully that works out pretty well. Carrots doing okay. Here's another strawberry bed. These are doing pretty good. Here's some extra tomatoes. And this is my clearance blackberry that I bought from Walmart. And it was doing okay, but now it's starting to die back again. So I don't think that one's gonna survive. Got some extra flowers because I lost my whole tray of Love and a Mist to spider mites. So restarted some of them, curious to see how those do. Here's another clematis. This one was planted in the ground and it's doing really, really well. Actually, it's getting ready to bloom. So that's gonna be really pretty. Really excited to see that. Over here, okay, so for those of you who don't know, I have a 1-year-old. And my property is very dangerous. We have a in-ground pool, we have a pond, and we have horses. So this is kind of a death trap for a toddler. And we're gonna be spending a lot of time in the garden. So since this used to be a dog pen, we have a concrete pad here where the dog house used to sit, and there's a little doggy door there that's been boarded up. But what we decided to do was create a little play area for my son. So this is actually a sandbox. Let me show you what it looks like when it's unfolded. So yeah, this is child containment and entertainment area here. That seems to work out pretty well. Of course, he's too little to be unsupervised here now, but definitely in the next few years, this will be a godsend, I think. And to try to make this look a little bit prettier, you know, the chain link is everywhere. I did get some wisteria vines. And originally these were gonna go in the arbor over the entrance, but I decided to switch those out with the roses because those are going to bloom a little bit longer. But I thought the wisteria would be cool because we can train it to grow all the way over there. I've got another one right there, that's another wisteria, so it's gonna grow along here. And then eventually I thought it'd be neat to maybe build like a pergola over here and let the wisteria grow over it and kind of hang down, and to create kind of like a sunscreen for my son while he plays here. And I'll show you the middle boxes. So these are potatoes and they are now ready to get hilled up. I was kind of waiting on a few stragglers to catch up and they're all pretty well even now. So those are going to get hilled up. We intentionally filled this box less than the others so that we could do that without it spilling over. So we'll see how those do. Got some beautiful, beautiful zinnias here. So these are Macarenia zinnias from Baker Creek. Super pretty, really interesting colors. So we've got corn. This year we're trying peaches and cream. Which is a bicolor variety of sweet corn that always sells out really quick. So hoping that they do well. I swear, corn, like day to day, you can see the growth. It's crazy. It grows like an inch a day. And we put some marigolds just in each corner of these boxes. just to help deter some pests. So we have 4 beds of corn. This one I tried to crowd them a little bit just to see if there's any difference. So we have 5 rows in this one and 4 rows in all the rest. But it's all the same type of corn. We learned the hard way not to do different types of corn too close because they'll cross-pollinate and the corn won't taste very good. So lesson learned, we're only doing the peaches and cream. Now inside here, we've got our blueberries. So 4 blueberries. This one we just bought from Aldi. It was only $6 and it seems to be doing okay. Not a whole lot of leaves or branches coming up, but it looks healthy. So we'll see how it does. And then these we bought last year. They overwintered in pots and they're doing pretty good. Our dogs actually pruned them for us. We did not ask them to, but it actually worked out because they're looking really bushy. So hopefully those will start producing here in a year or 2. And in the middle, we're trying potato bags. So we've got 2, and I'm also doing another experiment. These are old potatoes that we grew and were left over from last year. They just been sitting in a laundry hamper in my office all winter. So we planted those and they're doing really well. And then these are the ones that we bought from the store as seed potatoes. So they're both red Pontiac, but you can see the growth difference. The old ones are actually beating the new ones by quite a bit. There's a good probably 3 inches of growth difference there. So I thought that was interesting. We'll see how the potato bags do if, you know, if we get any better potatoes in them or not. More corn, pretty flowers. Sweet alyssum. I've never grown this before, but man, for my pots, I'm gonna start doing this more often. This was just a little, like a 4-pack of sweet alyssum, and they just filled this pot so quick. It only took a couple weeks and they just completely filled that up. So I'm gonna have to remember that as a great filler for pots. This is the purple version, and I think this plant is kind of choking it out a little bit, but yeah, I love sweet alyssum. That's so cute. Over here we have some Ford Hook zucchini. So this is our first year of trying the Ford Hook from Baker Creek. We'll see how it goes. And then I got 1 Black Beauty in the middle that we're going to compare. Black Beauty is what we've grown previously, but my germination rate this year wasn't great because those seeds are from like 2016. So we got 1, but you know, that's plenty for the size of an area for them. But they seem to be doing well. And this is also our first year doing cabbages, and they're doing pretty well too. I'm afraid 5 might be a little too many for this size of a raised bed, but we'll see. Let's see, this is Flat Dutch Late, and this is a Livingston brand that we bought at Rural King for the seeds. So they seem to be doing well. No pest damage as far as I can see. And I had some extra snapdragons, so I just tossed those there to pretty it up a little bit. And the last area we've got is this little wall here. There's my other wisteria. This is a redbud tree that we bought from Aldi. It was only like $15 and it is coming alive. As you can see, those leaves are looking really good. So I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with it yet. I haven't found a spot for it, but it's doing okay. Those are just some extra coleus I had. This flower, what is this? Saxifraga, perennial. Bought this at Walmart. I thought that was so pretty, but it's not really growing much. I've had it for a couple of weeks now, and I mean, it's pretty, but I wish it would fill out this a little bit better. We'll see. So this is our dedicated carrot bed. So I built this out of like the softest, fluffiest soil that I could find. We added a bunch of vermiculite and Epsom salts and sand to try to make this as soft and light and fluffy as possible. And as you can see, these carrots are way bigger than the ones in our other raised beds I showed you a minute ago. The germination rate wasn't great, so I did do a second seeding, and it looks like those are starting to come up. So those are starting to come up there, but yeah, I'm really happy with these carrots. Carrots are another thing, kind of like the onions. I just want one good carrot. I've never been able to grow a carrot past like an inch long, so you're a weed. I'm gonna get rid of you. But yeah, we've got several different varieties: Royal Chantenay, Amarillo, Scarlet Nance, Red Cord Chantenay, Danvers 126. So yeah, we'll see. We'll probably do a whole dedicated video if we get a good carrot harvest, just to exactly how we put that together. Everyone's got to have a chicken pot. That's got this cute little purple guy. This is a Intensia blueberry, a phlox hybrid. But I just thought that was such a pretty purple color. Hopefully he spreads pretty good. So here we've got lettuces. This one's a mixed lettuce, but it doesn't seem like a whole lot came up. And then this is little gem lettuce, and it's doing really well in this little box. We've been snacking off this. It's not bitter or anything. Great for salads and for sandwiches, so really happy with that. But these, looks like this is the only the only different variety we got. And this is a bucket of potatoes that is getting grounded. We'll just dump those out. We'll use those later. Portulaca, not doing great. Here's another pot with some sweet alyssum. I can't remember what these are, but they were really pretty. Here's some extra pansies that I've got started. Pansies take so long to get going, guys. I started these a month ago, and this is all the bigger that they are. Pansies take forever. I love them, but man, take too long. I don't have that kind of patience. Everyone also needs a pig pot. This is a weed. Get out of here. Okay, so yeah, more sweet alyssums. So yeah, guys, that is our garden. We're trying to make it look a little bit cuter, adding things like a little sign. This is actually an Easter sign, but I thought it was so cute because it has carrots. Perfect for the garden. I got that at Joann Fabrics on clearance. But anyways, I'm trying to make the chain link look a little bit less industrial and harsh, so I'm just trying to decorate it. These are some Livingston daisies. I've never grown them before. This one is not doing great. But yeah, we've got these little hanging pots here on the door. I've got this little enjoy the little things mason jar sign, and I drilled some holes in these little skinny pots here that I got on clearance a year or two ago, and I took some zip ties and we just tied them to the top here and made little hanging baskets and try to fill them up with as much color as possible. So these, I believe, are the brushstrokes violas from Baker Creek. I love them. Look how pretty that is. Such an interesting color. And the violas here, they will self-seed, and we'll just find them in the yard, which brings me so much joy. So pretty. But yeah, so we're just trying to make it look a little bit nicer, a little bit cuter. We got some little metal decorations there, but I can't wait to see it all filled with green, especially once those beans grow up. I think it's gonna look really, really nice. Ignore our greenhouse, you guys. You can see our Harbor Freight videos on their channel. Those things, FYI, if you've not seen those, they do not last more than 3 years because the panels that they come with are not UV resistant, and so they crumble, and that's what's going on there. So as you can see, there's just holes everywhere. The sides, if I were to push on them, my hand would just go right through. So I don't know what we're gonna do with the greenhouse, you guys. The greenhouse might get tore down, which is a bummer, but you know, all part of the learning process. So yeah, guys, that is our first garden tour of 2022. Really excited to see what we grow. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos following our garden throughout the growing season, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.